This is going to be a hopefully short review on the Woojer Haptic Feedback Vest. This is an item that is quite heavily advertised on Instagram and Facebook. I've never owned a haptic piece of technology before, so I thought I'd give it a go when it turned up. This is actually the second one. So sadly I did have issues with the first one that had to be sent back. I know it's not great to announce that at the beginning of a review, but it is true. I've never, like I say, never used them before, so completely fresh eyes on this. I've seen the advertising and how people seem to go, oh wow, and you know, make all these big exclamated comments about how fantastic this is and how it's opened their eyes when they're using it in the ads. But yeah, I thought I'd give it a go and I'll give you my genuine, honest opinion. The website itself is a very good website. They sell quite a lot of accessories for this item, which I did purchase. I got the Woojer drawstring bag because there's no actual other drawstring bag big enough to hold this device in, which is just easier for storage. I'll show you that a bit later in the video, and also some of their audio jacks. So this device is currently selling on their website, I think it's about £249. I think I paid about £265 for mine. That was with a voucher code a couple of months ago. So you could probably get it for £249 plus a voucher code if there's one out there. I have messaged Woojer to ask if they will provide a voucher code for this video, and if they do, I'll put it in the description below. So it's supposed to make your experience of music, films, gaming a little bit more immersive by giving you 360-degree haptic response, which is in the form of vibrations from the bass and explosions and things like that that go on. It's got 6 of these haptic output sensors, if that's what you want to call them, 2 sides, 2 back and 2 front, and it's supposed to be low latency using Bluetooth 5.0. Depends what connectivity methods you use, however, so I will go through very shortly all the different connectivity methods and tell you how I feel they worked with the experience through the headsets. Now I use PlayStation 3 and 4 gold headsets, which are the blue and black ones, and the one with the silver band on the top, which is called the Platinum headset, which is actually still arguably the best headset, even better than the PS5's Pulse one, I believe. They are both 7.1 surround sound headsets. I believe the Platinum one, however, has 3D sound features, which again are supposed to be more immersive. Being that I have a 3D TV, I already have the visual immersiveness of the films and things that I watch, so this is just a way to make them even more effective on your experience viewing them. And it has made a lot of films, including old ones that you've seen loads of times before, a bit more interesting, even when you know a jump scare is coming. This thing, if set up properly, which I'll talk about in a minute, if you feel the vibrations and things like that, it can really actually still make you jump again in places that you're used to not jumping. For me, latency is a key issue with these kind of devices. I can't stand when you're watching a film and the speech comes out of someone's mouth a little bit different to the timing of their lips moving, and it just bugs me. I can't watch a film like that for too long. And there are a couple of issues with this that I experienced with the first vest that I had. This one's a little bit more improved, actually, I've got to say. So maybe I was unlucky and had a poor manufactured one, or one that didn't make it through quality control, something like that. So yeah, it worked for the first 2 weeks, and then I started experiencing issues with the first vest I had. And I spoke to a gentleman there called Leon, who's been really good. He always communicates, always responds by email. They sent me a new control unit, which is this bit here, and I had to, using one of their bespoke screwdrivers, there's a zip here, you pull down, open up the control unit and replace it with a new one. That didn't fix the issues for me though at that time. So a little bit of self-diagnosis with them didn't really fix the problem, so that's why it ended up being sent back, and this is number 2 that has arrived. I also have been told by another YouTuber that to make this completely wireless you can use a device called a BT3 dongle available from a company called Creative. It's supposed to be a low latency adapter which you put into your console device, pair to this wirelessly, but you're always going to have an audio jack cable here to put your headphones on to use with it. So you can never be completely wireless. The only time I've managed to get this completely wireless is dual Bluetooth pairing it to my Samsung 21 mobile and my Buds headset, which was very temperamental, but I'll include a video actually of how I got that to work. So anybody else who wants to try that, it's quite handy. But of course then you're watching media from your mobile phone and not from your TV because the dual Wi-Fi capability. So yeah, I mean you can try and experiment with new ways of using this. I know it doesn't work on the PS3, I've tried. I might try the Bluetooth adapter on that to see if the PS3 can output its audio, but I doubt it's going to work. Sadly, this is all because of the PS4 doesn't output audio to Bluetooth, which is very annoying, and in this day and age I don't know why they didn't think of that. I haven't tried this on a PS5, I don't own a PS5, so I have no idea if it will work. The strongest form of connection I found, which you'll see in the videos, is using the PS4 via audio jack to the vest and then an audio jack from the vest to your headset. Strongest volume in your ears and the haptic sensation. The other methods were not very good, I found. So it can come across a little bit gimmicky, and that's the first impression I got, but then I suppose this technology is in its infancy and maybe we'll get better. I know there's lots of other companies out there now starting to make haptic things, but I've never looked into those before. So who knows, it might get better. It might get better. The adverts of people just like, you know, acting so shocked, I didn't believe that for a second, and I don't think it's that great that I would act like they do in their marketing adverts. Okay, so everybody, this is the unboxing of the Woojer Haptic Feedback Vest. Here it is, very bold image on the front. It's quite stylish packaging actually, quite unusual shape. On the back, it's got a list of all the different parts of the vest itself. Now, as this is the second one that I've had delivered, as explained in my beginning intro, I have already opened this just to test it's still working, and I've got a few more tests to run. Inside you've got this little cover, and here is the Woojer vest. It's quite light actually, and it feels quite good quality material used in it. Quite comfortable to wear. Inside the packaging is also an instruction manual. You can download the instructions online as well. In this left arm pocket you have your fast charger cable. I've actually fitted the adapter already. It's all tucked away in its own little boxes, which is quite nifty. On the right hand side you have another box. This one contains your audio jack, which you'll use to connect to your headphones later. USBA to USBC lead as well. This can actually be used to charge the Woojer vest as well, depending on what you've got it connected to. And inside you've got another box here, which is basically adapters. So if you're European wall chargers or UK wall chargers, whatever it is, they're all in here. To be honest, I probably won't need to touch that one anymore. Additional accessories available on their website that I bought with this item was their own gold standard audio jack. This item comes in at around $14.95, and because I couldn't find a bag big enough to store it in, Woojer have designed their own stream bag. This is a bit pricey though, but it comes in at about $34.95. I couldn't find anything out there, and then decided actually I'd rather keep the branding all matching, so I decided to go with this. It just hangs up on the wall, lets you store the Woojer inside. Best way is to just fold the side flaps together, and it drops down inside just like this. Just going to show you there's some detail on the inside of the vest. Wow, let's try try and put it on. Okay, so how to put the vest on. First, side clips, dip in together very easily, pull the cords as tight as you like, and then use the little adjusters to control the excess. Then you have the top clip, could be a little bit fiddly, there you go, and then use this little cord here to adjust how tight you want that, or you can pull it apart more. Then you've got the side straps, just pull down and this fits it to your shoulders, and also use the little clips to just hold the excess material back in place. And that is how you put the Woojer vest on. It's quite tight fit, hugging the body, so the idea is that when the haptics kick in with the music or gaming, whatever it is you're doing, you actually feel the sensation through you. To release, just unclip, press the button in the middle, and you are free. So now I just want to demonstrate some of the connectivity options for the Woojer vest. You do need to use headphones to be able to hear the audio. I have a couple at my disposal. I have here the PS3, PS4 compatible gold headsets. I also have the far more superior PS4 Platinum headset. Both are capable of 7.1 surround sound, but this one also has the 3D sound capability, which does make things a little bit more immersive than just the surround sound provided on the gold headsets. They have the ability to connect wirelessly to the PS4, PS3, this one in particular PS3 only, but they can also do via audio jack, and unfortunately because the PS4 Pro or a PS4 cannot output audio, you do have to use the adapter dongles that come with these headsets to make them wireless. So if I was going to connect this via the USB-C cable that it comes with, I plugged the USB-A end into the PS4 Pro slot without any adapters, because I know you can buy adapters to have multiple more slots available. Here is the USB-C end. So first of all, I'm going to turn the Woojer on by holding it until it turns blue. Then I'm going to release because I don't want it to go into connectivity mode, so it's now on blue. I'm going to put the USB-C into its slot and it turns to a slightly lighter blue. Then I'm going to take the audio jack and plug it into the headphone slot, and then plug it into my headphones, which are also switched on, and in this case I'm going to use the gold ones just for the sake of demonstrating. Now this should be ready to go. I've got a movie on the TV at the moment that's got an action scene, so there should be a lot of bass sounds when it kicks in. Now sadly my first vest that arrived, after 2 weeks I noticed issues with this connection. The haptics weren't particularly strong and the volume wasn't particularly strong. Now this is the first time I've tested this second Woojer vest that they've sent to me, so I'm going to see just how strong it is. So let's get the movie playing. I'm going to use the buttons on the device here to turn the volume up max and the haptics up to max by pressing up and plus. I can hear the movie playing, I can hear the audio, and it seems to be syncing quite well this time versus the original vest. Now I've got a bit of a bass action scene kicking off. Now unfortunately the haptics on the device are quite weak. They're not as strong as I expected they were going to be. It's just a subtle vibration. I certainly expected a bit more oomph, but it seems that this method of connectivity does not provide that. I'm going to try the exact same scene in a minute with another method, so let's see how that turns out. Now for this second method of connectivity, I'm going to be using the PS4 controller because it also has an audio output via the jack cable, which is how you can play and chat with your headphones on. So I've got the same movie, the same scene. To set this up this time, I'm going to turn it on again by holding the button down until it turns blue. There you go. But this time I'm going to have the PS4 controller on, and you may need to adjust your settings to keep it on because for battery saving I know you can turn this off every 10 minutes, 20 minutes, etc. That will mean that you lose audio if you're watching a movie. So put the audio jack in there, the audio jack in the audio input slot on the Woojer Vest, and then taking a second jack cable, put that in the headphone out, and put that into the headphone itself with your headphone on. This should be ready to go. Once again, every time you connect this up, you will need to tweak your settings by pressing the plus button to have the volume on as loud as you can and the haptics as loud as you can. So I'm just going to listen to this scene now. Let's go play. Right, volume up, haptics up. Now that is noticeably different. The haptics are a lot stronger on the vest than they were via the USBA option, and the volume in the headset is also much louder. Now I'm just going to let it go to a speaking moment to see if I can detect any delays in the lip syncing. Let's just forward it on a little bit. Right, here we go. That's a lot better than it was. The previous vest that I had serious lip syncing issues, and I found it personally very annoying to be watching a movie and the speech to be ending after their lips have finished moving, but that seems to be a bit better. It seems the haptics via the PS4 controller are the strongest that they will be. USB A lead to C lead doesn't really do it for me. I have got one more method of connectivity I'm going to try. All these wires are very annoying, of course, and I would like to go completely wireless. So, thanks to another YouTuber, who I will put the link down in the description, they recommended this product. It's called a Creative BT3 wireless low latency dongle. And the idea of this is that you can put it in your consoles, computers, and have it pair with a device. And the idea is that it should send the audio across, saving you the need to have all these cables set up when you're trying to watch a simple movie or play a game. So let me just try this option and see if it works. The last time I did it on the first Woojer Vest, the volume was incredibly poor, and the haptic response was also very poor. But I've had it from Woojer in an email that it's compatible. I've also had it in an email from Creative that it's compatible, so there's no reason for this to not work. Let's have a go. So as I was saying, I would like to go as wireless as I possibly can with a device like this. I don't think I'm going to be able to get out of having to put an audio jack into the headphones, however, but the method that I just described before, I'm going to try right now to see how it goes. So I put the BT3 Creative dongle into the PS4 Pro slot. What I'm going to do is hold my finger on the power button here and put the Woojer Vest into connectivity mode, which is when the blue light starts to flash blue and red alternatively. There you go. Now I'm going to hold my finger down on the BT dongle's button, just on the end, sorry. Now it's flashing quite fast, which is putting it into pairing mode. Now it's stopped flashing blue, and the Woojer Vest has gone solid blue. Now this means that the dongle and the vest are connected to each other, so that avoids any cables now to the console. I still have to use an audio jack though, so once again back into the headphone slot and into the headphone on the the slot on the jack slot on the headset. Too many words here to use, too many jacks and audio things, it gets very complicated. So I've got the movie set back to the exact same scene I was using a moment before, and I'm going to press play. Sorry, my PS4 controller has obviously gone off. Let's try it play now, and I'm going to make sure that the volume and the haptics are on as loud as they can by putting them onto the max. Let's put the headphones in. Right, so I'm looking at a bit of speech at the moment. Now the volume's not particularly loud, which is odd. Right, no, and the haptics are sadly very weak. So I thought this option was going to work quite well, but no, I'm afraid it's not worked as good as I thought it would. So the volume of the movie in the headset is really poor, despite them all being on max and any possible buttons I can press. and the haptics on the vest, I can barely feel anything. So the BT Creative dongle to go all wireless, I don't feel like it's had a very good effect, I'm afraid. It seems that the strongest haptic response is still using the PS4 audio jack. So I've just had a little bit of a breakthrough with this. Now, my Woojer Vest is currently still Bluetooth to my mobile phone. I can't seem to get the wireless Galaxy Buds to work via Bluetooth as well at the same time. So I thought, I wonder if I try just a normal pair of audio jack enabled headphones and leave the Bluetooth connection to the phone. And that's what I did. I tried these HP Omen ones. And I played a movie trailer just now on YouTube, and the thing was crazy. The volume coming through these headphones was fantastic, and the vest was vibrating the wildest I think I've seen it do in all of these demonstrations. So that feature seemed to work. I can't understand why I can't get it to Bluetooth to another pair of wireless headphones. That doesn't make sense to me. I also can't understand why it's stronger this way than it would be through wires connected to the PS4. It just doesn't make sense to me. So all of my findings here I am actually going to share with Woojer as well. I don't know whether they'll provide any support to me or any more assistance in trying to get this system fully up and working. I hope they do. To those that are interested, I'm going to ask them about a voucher code as well, to see if there's any discounts out there for anybody if they're tempted to buy one and try themselves. But that's kind of as far as I've managed to go with today's tests, unfortunately. On my first Woojer Vest that came, they advised me to do my own repair, so they sent me this little screwdriver and they sent me a control unit, which is this part here, because they believed it was faulty. All at the back here there is a little zip, and you have to pull it out all the way down this arm, unpack all the supports and the packaging and the wires, and use this screwdriver to remove the control unit and replace it with a new one. That made zero difference. I was still getting the same issues, in fact very similar issues as to what I'm getting today. I believe I may have worked out how to get the Woojer Vest to work with the Samsung Galaxy Buds wirelessly via Bluetooth. So let's start by turning the vest on. Now that's on. Now let's log into my phone. And the first thing is to make sure it's connected via Bluetooth, which it is. Very easy to put it into share mode. Just hold the button down until it flashes red and blue. Alternatively, it's about 5 seconds. And then you scroll down to find the device in your list. Just tap to let them pair. Second thing is, with the S21 newer version, you have to swipe down the screen and go to Media Output. Make sure that two devices are connected, so the Galaxy Buds are connected, and there you can control their volume levels. So let's put them both up to max for now. Now let's find a video perhaps that we can watch. So let's think of a trailer for a new movie. And there it is. So I'm going to play. So it's playing through the earbuds, and also there is a very deep trembling coming from the Woojer Vest. Now if I get to an action part of the actual trailer, the haptics are suddenly very strong. So this method does seem to have now worked after all the complications I experienced before. It is worth me also noting that sending back of this item The first one that was faulty didn't go very well at all, so after quite a lot of troubleshooting, again with Leon from the company, he sent me a label to use. I can't remember, I think it was DHL label, and I used the website to try and find local places I could drop the parcel off. Ended up driving around for about an hour or so, trying about 3 different off licenses, and all of them rejected it, saying the label was incorrect. Had to go back to Leon, provide proof of this by the receipt saying that it was rejected, and he sent me another label, so I repeated the same steps again on another day, and yes, again it wasn't accepted by any of the off licenses. I don't know what was going on there, but it was a little bit of a faff. It was making it very difficult to get the product to go back, so in the end, on using Interparcel's website, I created my own courier collection, paid for that myself, but Leon did arrange for that to be refunded back to me, so it did get sent back to them in the end, but even that process wasn't as smooth as it should have been. So in terms of the best connectivity methods to get the best experience from this vest, in my experience today, the USB-C to USB-A version cable into your console was the weakest by far. The volume in the speakers and the headphones connected to the vest was just dreadful. It was incredibly quiet. Even when I was on max and I was pressing the up button and the plus button to try and increase the haptics and increase the volume, that was quite poor. And the haptics were barely noticeable, just slight vibrations. The PS4 controller, so an audio jack from the controller to the vest and from the vest to your headset, was by far the strongest. Proper actual shakes and things like that. I wouldn't have said that the haptics feel like something's hitting you, so when people play gun games and things, they talk about feeling a bullet bounce off you. It's not that kind of feeling, it's more like a vibration than anything else. But that was definitely the strongest method. And then the final new method I tried was the BT3 Creative wireless dongle to try and do away with having wires everywhere. Yeah, that was pretty poor. I expected that to be good because of other reviews. I thought it was a method that worked. I knew that the 2 companies had both emailed me saying it was compatible. Whether I got a faulty dongle or not, I don't know. I've never said that before. But it just didn't really work for me. So that was probably one of the worst. It was very quiet, and the haptics were non-existent really. So I won't be using that method again. I will be returning the BT dongle. And then the only other method of trying to watch things was via the mobile phone, which I use with the Galaxy Buds. And that worked quite well. Now that I've worked out how to do it on Samsung, they seem to have changed their settings around with the latest updates, and it kind of throws you out on how to get 2 devices now on Bluetooth to talk to each other. But I'll include a video showing how to do that. And I watched a trailer, and it's actually quite hard to watch. You can't watch it on full volume because the volume in the speaker and in the haptics is too strong, so I did have to turn it down. But that was probably another good method. I hope that Woojer will listen to my experiences on using this product and how it felt receiving the effects that it's supposed to be giving. But yeah, if they can, it definitely needs to improve how it impacts you from the cable side of things, because definitely using the USBs and using the jacks to the PS4 controller, they're okay, but I think they need to be massively improved. I'm glad that I've got a vest now this time that the syncing of the lips to the voices seems to be a lot better, because that was driving me spare. But yeah, if they could look at inventing one of these that was wireless, that could just operate by Bluetooth alone, that would be fantastic, because nobody wants to use one of these, watch a movie or do VR, for example. I've never done VR stuff before, but do VR, I would imagine, with having cables all over you. So not only would you have 2 controllers, you'd have the other controller, you'd have jack cables running everywhere. It's going to get messy, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone did have an accident. It's not a very family orientated piece of technology. You use this for yourself when you're watching a movie or playing a game. It's not like you can have all 5 people in a front room all rigged up to this device and all enjoying their own individual experience. I don't think it's built to work like that. But yeah, like I say, I'm glad the price is coming down, because it's actually starting to come down more into a bracket of what it's actually worth, because I certainly don't think it was worth the sale price at the beginning. So, summing up, do I think it's worth the money? I think it's a bit gimmicky. I'm glad that the price is slowly coming down, because when this first came out and I remember seeing prices of about £400 on their website, I would be very unhappy if I paid £400 for this. I think it could come down a little bit more. I think it's still very pricey for what it is. I've watched a few films in 3D now with lots of bass and catastrophes and drama going on, you know, Clash of the Titans series. I've also watched you know, Pirates of the Caribbean movies, a few of the Disney ones, a few Marvel ones and things like that, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings films, and the bass and drama of those films can be fantastic. I mean, it can shake about quite a lot and gives you a new perception to those movies. So I think it's worth it for that kind of experience, and I would only use this with movies. I haven't yet tried it with gaming, because I'm not a hardcore gamer. I don't really get the time for these kind of things, so I don't know. I'm going to take it as it comes and keep trying it. Might do another review further down the line. I don't know how durable it is yet. I don't know if this will pack up or stop working after X amount of time. So yeah, basically I will carry on trying it, and I'll see if I can get that voucher code that you guys can use to purchase your version of this item if you wish, plus any of the accessories. So yeah, that's my honest opinion of this device. As always, please feel free to like, share and subscribe this video, and I will continue doing more reviews as I try new strange products. If you wanted me to review, for example, the headsets that I've mentioned in this video, the PS3 4 Gold one and the PS4's Platinum one, I can do that. I know these devices have been out for a little while now, so they won't be, you know, this won't be obviously the best review, and they've probably been done before, but I'm quite happy to do that. But anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.